Mary Lennox woke up feeling grumpy. She looked around. "Where is my Aya?" she said with a frown. A strange woman stood by her bed. "I want my Aya," Mary shouted. "Go away." The woman looked scared. "Aya can't come," she whispered. "What do you mean?" Mary screamed. "I'll tell my mother." But no one answered. No one came. Something felt wrong that morning. The house was too quiet. Some servants were gone. The others looked scared and ran around. Mary walked outside and sat by a tree. She poked the dirt with a stick and played by herself. "I'll tell Aya she's a pig when she comes back," Mary said angrily. "Pig, pig," she shouted. Then she heard her mother's voice from the veranda. "Oh no, is it very bad?" her mother asked a young man. "Yes, it's terrible," he said. "You should have gone to the hills. Now it's too late." Just then, loud crying came from the servant houses. "What is it?" Mary's mother gasped. "Someone has died," the man said. Mary's mother ran inside. "Come with me," she cried. Later, Mary learned the truth. A sickness called cholera had come. People were very sick. Many died. Her Aya was one of them. Mary hid in her room. No one came. No one remembered her. She ate some food and drank something sweet. Then she got very sleepy and fell asleep. When she woke up, the house was quiet. "Too quiet. Where is everyone?" she whispered. A little snake slid across the floor. Mary watched it go under the door. "I think I'm all alone," she said. Then she heard footsteps. 2 men came into the house. "What a sad place," one said. "I heard there was a child, but I never saw her." Mary stood up. "I'm Mary Lennox," she said proudly. "Where is everybody? Why didn't anyone come for me?" One man looked at her kindly. "Poor child," he said. "There's no one left. Your parents, they're gone." Mary stared at him. "Gone?" she whispered. "Yes," he said. "You were all alone." Mary Lennox sat alone on the train. Her face was pale. Her eyes were cold. Her heart was empty. Her parents had died. No one wanted her. She was sent across the ocean, from India to England, to live with an uncle she had never met. The house was called Misselthwaite Manor. It was big and gray, sitting on a lonely moor. The sky above was always cloudy. The wind blew through the trees like a whisper. When Mary arrived, no one gave her a hug. No one smiled. A woman named Mrs. Medlock greeted her with a sharp voice. "You'll stay out of the way and out of trouble," she said. Mary said nothing. She looked out the window of her new room. The garden below was full of dead vines and long grass. "I'm all alone," she whispered, "and I don't belong anywhere." But far away, behind one of the walls, something was waiting, something that was still alive. Mary loved walking near the wall. Every day, she visited the same spot. One morning, the robin flew to a place where the grass was thin. Mary knelt down. Something shiny stuck out of the dirt. She pulled it. It was a key, an old, heavy, rusty key. Her hands trembled. She looked at the wall. She touched the ivy, pulling it aside. There, Half hidden in green leaves was a round doorknob. Her heart thumped. She fit the key in. Click. The door opened. The garden inside was wild and quiet. Trees bent under the wind. Dry branches reached out like arms. But in the middle, small green shoots pushed through the soil. "It's still alive," Mary whispered. She stepped in and closed the door behind her. Mary returned to the secret garden every day. She pulled weeds. She dug the soil with her hands. Her fingernails turned brown, but she didn't mind. One morning, a boy walked into the garden. He had a kind face and animals followed him. "I'm Dickon," he said with a smile. "You must be Miss Mary." Mary nodded slowly. "How did you find me?" "The robin told me," Dickon said. "He's a friend of mine." Mary laughed. "A bird is your friend?" Dickon smiled wider. Birds, foxes, lambs, they all know me." From that day, they worked side by side. Dickon taught Mary how to plant seeds. He showed her how to care for the earth. Mary felt something change inside her. She didn't feel so cross anymore. She didn't feel so empty. One afternoon, as they rested under a tree, Mary said, "I used to be sad all the time, but not here, not with you." Dickon picked up a small flower. That's the garden's magic. It makes things grow, even people. Mary smiled and looked at her hands. They were dirty, but they felt strong. "I think I'm growing too." That night, Mary woke to the sound of crying again. Not the wind, not a dream, a real voice. She stepped into the hallway barefoot and brave. The sound grew louder. She followed it past many doors until she stopped at one. She turned the handle and pushed. Inside was a big room with soft curtains. In the bed was a boy, pale as paper, with tears on his cheeks. He gasped, "Who are you?" "I'm Mary," she said. "I heard you crying." "I'm Colin. This is my room. No one comes in here." "Why are you crying?" "Because everyone thinks I'm going to die. They all look at me like I'm broken." Mary frowned. "You don't look like you're dying. You look angry and bored." Colin blinked. No one had ever spoken to him like that. He wiped his tears. "You're strange." "So are you," said Mary. They stared at each other. Then slowly, Colin smiled. "Will you come again tomorrow?" he asked. Mary nodded. "Yes, I will." Mary visited Colin every day. They talked about everything, the house, the moor, the robin. But Mary had not told him her biggest secret yet. One day, she whispered, "Do you want to know something wonderful?" Colin looked up. "What is it?" "There's a garden," Mary said. "A secret one, hidden behind a wall." Colin sat up straighter. "A secret garden?" Mary nodded. "It was locked for 10 years, but I found the key. I found the door. And now it's mine." Colin's eyes grew wide. "Can I see it?" "I think yes," said Mary. "But you must keep it secret." "I will," Colin said quickly. "I promise." The next day, Dickon came to the manor with a special gift, a wheelchair. "We'll take you to the garden," Mary said. They rolled Colin through the halls, out into the wind, down the stone path. At the garden wall, Mary took out the key. She opened the door. Inside, the air was full of bird song and green light. Colin stared at everything. "It's like a dream," he said, "like a place from a storybook." They sat in a circle on the grass. Colin touched the ground with his hands. "I feel different here," he whispered, "like I'm not sick anymore." Dickon said, "This place has magic." "What kind of magic?" asked Colin. "The kind that makes things grow," said Mary. Colin looked at the sky. "Then, maybe it can help me grow too." They joined hands. Mary smiled. "Let's believe in the magic together." And so they did, right there, in the middle of the secret garden. The next few days were full of sunshine. Colin went to the secret garden every morning. Dickon pushed the wheelchair. Mary walked beside them, carrying a blanket and a book. In the garden, Colin smiled more. He laughed louder. He looked brighter. One day, as birds chirped and the wind danced through the leaves, Mary turned to Colin and said, "Do you want to try something new today?" Colin looked curious. "Like what?" Mary knelt beside him. "I think you're ready to try." Standing just for a moment, Colin's eyes grew big. "Do you really think I can?" "I do," said Mary. "We believe in the magic, remember?" Dickon stepped forward. "I'll hold your hand. Just lean on me." Colin took a deep breath. He grabbed Dickon's arm. Slowly, shakily, he stood. His legs trembled, but he was standing. He was really standing. "I'm up," he shouted. "I'm up on my own." The robin flew in a circle over his head, singing loudly. Mary clapped her hands. "You did it, Colin. You really did it." Colin laughed. "It feels amazing. I thought I would fall, but I didn't." He looked at his feet. "I'm standing on them. I've never seen them like this before." Dickon said, "You're strong, Colin. You just needed to believe it." Colin stood for a few more seconds, then carefully sat back down. His heart was racing, but his eyes sparkled with joy. "I want to try again tomorrow." Mary smiled. "Tomorrow and the day after that and every day until you walk." And from that moment on, Colin did try, again and again, and with each day, the garden and Colin grew stronger.
I can stand, I can try, underneath the open sky. With my heart, I'll find my way. In this magic, I will stay, looking up at stars so bright.
Each day, Colin grew stronger. He could stand longer. He could take a step, then two. Dickon clapped. Mary cheered. Even the robin sang louder. One morning, as they rested in the shade, Colin said, "I want to surprise them." Mary looked up. "Surprise who?" "Everyone," said Colin. "The servants, Mrs. Medlock, even Father. They all think I can't walk." Dickon grinned. "They'll think they're dreaming." When you walk through the door, Colin's eyes sparkled. "I want to walk in front of them. I want them to see I'm not sick. I'm alive." Mary said, "It will be the biggest surprise." this house has ever seen. They made a secret plan. Colin would practice in the garden each day. No one else would know, not yet. And every day, he walked more, 1 step, then 5, then 10. One day, he walked from the rose bush to the tree. The next, from the tree to the wall. Each step felt like flying. I never thought walking could feel like this, Colin said. It's like my feet are learning to be free. Mary nodded. You're learning to live, Dickon smiled. Soon you'll be running. Just wait, Colin looked toward the sky. I hope my father comes home soon. I want him to see me. I want to show him who I really am, Mary said softly. He'll be proud, Colin. So proud. The garden, full of wind and light, wrapped around them like a promise. They laughed. They dreamed and they waited for the day. The secret would be revealed. The sun was warm. The wind danced through the leaves. Mary, Dickon, and Colin waited inside the secret garden. Colin stood in the middle of the path, his hands at his sides, his heart beating fast. Are you nervous? Mary asked. A little, Colin said. But I'm ready. Dickon smiled. He's coming soon. Outside the garden, the iron gate creaked open. Mr. Craven walked slowly through the trees. His face looked tired from travel. His eyes searched with worry. Then, through the green branches, he saw it. A garden full of color and sunlight. And in the center, a boy. His boy stood tall and proud. Mr. Craven stopped in place. Colin, he whispered. Colin turned. He smiled. Then he walked, step by step, toward his father. Father, he called out. Look at me. I'm walking. Mr. Craven dropped his cane. His hands trembled. You can walk, he said, almost in disbelief. Colin laughed. I'm not sick anymore. I'm happy. Mr. Craven fell to his knees and opened his arms. Colin ran into them. They hugged tightly. Tears ran down both their faces. Behind them, Mary and Dickon stood quietly. Among the flowers, Mary whispered, The magic worked. That evening, golden light filled the garden. Mr. Craven walked along the path slowly. His eyes were wide with wonder. You found the garden, he said softly. Mary nodded. It was waiting. They sat under a blooming tree, the flowers swaying gently in the breeze. Mr. Craven looked around, his eyes filled with memory. This garden belonged to her, he said. My wife, Colin's mother, loved this place. She planted the roses. She sang to the birds. She was the heart of this garden. He paused, his voice trembling. When she died, I locked it away. I couldn't bear to see it without her. It felt like the joy was gone forever. Colin reached out and held his father's hand. But it wasn't gone, he said. It was only sleeping. Mr. Craven smiled through tears. And now it's alive again, because of you, Colin said. It helped me grow. Mr. Craven looked at them all. You've brought joy back to this house. He placed a hand on Colin's shoulder. From today on, this garden belongs to you. The children joined hands. Under the open sky, the secret garden was no longer a secret. It was home, a home full of light, love, and magic. Forever.